views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of Time Warner Cable.
Hello and welcome to The Bottom Line. My name is Dana Connors and I'm pleased to be your host once again for this monthly program brought to you by the Maine State Chamber of Commerce. A program that allows us to take a look at some of the issues, policies, programs, and opportunities in order to position our state to move our people and our economy forward. Today we're going to do just that. We're going to take a look at 6 issues, in fact, that open the door to significant opportunity for our state's economy, as well as to improve the lives and the livelihood of Maine's people. They are the 6 bond issues that on November 4th, the voters in their booth will decide their fate. They are 6 issues that total $50 million and range in size from $3 million, the smallest, to $12 million, the largest. They have significant value to the people and our state, and it's my pleasure to begin the program by sharing the first 3 questions in the order that they appear on the ballot with you today. After a break, we'll come back and finish the final 3. With brief introductions, let me first introduce question number 2. Representing is John Rebar from the Cooperative Extension Service here in Maine. Next to him, representing the next question, is Carla Dickstein, representing question number 3. And question number 4 is represented by Kathleen Lutz of the Jackson Lab. It's a pleasure to have each of you with us today. John, I'm going to start with you and ask each of you, as well as the next segment, the same question. And that is, first of all, let me say that both your titles, more extensively than I've provided, and also the question will appear on the screen, so we won't have to take that time to dig into it. Your question, number 2, deals with $8 million for the cooperative extension to look at the diagnostic value and service to our plant and animal industry of the state. Why should the people vote yes on this? How does it help our economy or the lives and the livelihood of Maine people?
Well, first, Dana, thank you for the chance to be here, and I'm delighted to speak to that question because question 2 will provide funding that would create an animal plant and insect diagnostic control facility. While it be at the University of Maine, its work will be statewide. It's really the intention is to support a growing part of Maine's economy. Maine has the largest agricultural economy in New England. We have the most diverse agricultural economy in New England. We also have a very vibrant and thriving tourist industry. Much of that tourist industry is based on our natural resources. Some of those natural resources are wildlife. We've had significant impact to our moose herd, sometimes to our deer herd. Inland Fisheries and Wildlife, the Department of Marine Resources, many state agencies come to us and ask us to help them understand what's happening and how can we best prevent, control, and manage issues that confront us. In a global economy, we're faced with invasive species, things that come from other states and other countries that arrive in Maine, and we have to respond to them. The role of cooperative extension is to provide science-based, rapid response to economic, social, and environmental issues so that we can protect the quality of our economy.
Carla, I know that you've been very active in this issue. You're dealing with recapitalizing or expanding 2 very significant programs in FAME. Can you tell us how that's going to help our economy and the people of our state?
Well, these programs have been proven, as you said, for a long time, one at least 20 years. And basically, it's the bread and butter of small business financing in Maine. These programs help create businesses, small businesses, both in urban and rural areas, and they create jobs, and they help families. So, I mean, it's just basic. It's a basic foundation for our economy. And what this program does is provide capital, higher risk capital that, for businesses that don't quite qualify for conventional financing. So it's the gap or credit enhancement that these provide. And because of this program, they leverage bank loans. So the bank is able to do the deal, get the loan done. And they have significant ratios, for leveraging other money and creating jobs. So it's the basis.
Yeah, that's excellent. Kat, we all know in the state of Maine how special and how much Jackson Lab contributes to the success of our economy, leading edge part of our success. Tell us why this is so important, this particular biometric facility, if you will.
Sure. Thank you again for the opportunity to speak today to question 4. We're very excited about question 4. We think the impact is going to be astounding, not only economic, but the health impact to the people of Maine. Primarily, the objective of the Jackson Laboratory would be to apply for this funding and utilize it primarily for cancer diagnostics and cancer research. As you know, cancer is still the #1 killer in the state of Maine. The diagnostics of it are improving every day, but at the Jackson Laboratory, we're really focused on using genetics and precision genomics to help us understand, diagnose, and treat cancer. And we believe that the money that would be required from us would be a $11 million match, to the $10 million bond. And we would use that money to build a diagnostics facility, a biometrics facility, if you will, that we could use to promote the diagnostics and treatments and therapeutics, primarily for cancer, but for other diseases as well. It would literally take the research that we do at the Jackson Laboratory from the bench right to the patient bedside and back again, so that we could have the most impact on the health of the people of Maine as possible.
Another wonderful story that we're anxious to promote and to share with the people. So in your case, it's about jobs and helping with that disease, that illness that one time or another affects all of our families, namely cancer. Your case is to help what is vital to our state, our small business, by either guaranteeing loans or providing that increment financing that sometimes is hard to get to allow businesses to grow and to add jobs. In your case is to protect and preserve that's which is special to us in the state of Maine, our natural resource, our animals, our plants. I read recently where it was very fundamental to the point that had we had this in place, we probably could have stopped the blueberry loss of 2012 of whatever it was, 4 million or so. Is that a fact?
Well, that was spotted winged Drosophila, which is a small fruit fly that comes from North Asia that came to California in '08 and got to here by 2011 and caused some serious damage by 2012. So we've been trying to research that, but it's difficult because we can't raise colonies of these little critters because we don't have secure facilities to keep them in. So
would this allow you to do that?
Yes, we need biosecure facilities so that we can handle potentially dangerous pathogens, whether they be insects, diseases, or whatever, so that we can keep them in a confined, controlled place. Right now at the university, it's actually the most densely populated place in the state of Maine, with 10,000 students and 2,000 employees in 1 square mile. Wow. So what we need to do is we need a better facility so we're better able to research these things and get ahead of them.
Okay, Carla, anything else, or anything you want to add? This is a wonderful opportunity to be able to speak. I know you mentioned it, and I want to highlight it, the tremendous return on investment, the dollars that get generated multiply many times over when it comes to...
I mean, we're building the small business infrastructure for the state. Financing is one key component. Everybody's talking about how we grow our economy and our businesses, from tiny businesses to bigger businesses. Yep. And so, for example, the loan program, the return, because it's a revolving loan fund, it keeps getting reinvested. It was 16 to 1 in terms of amount of capital put out. For the loan insurance program, it was 64 to 1 in terms of the amount that takes and what they get back and the amounts of dollars it leverages. So it's huge in terms of that and the impact on jobs over time. And we're pretty much out of money, so it needs to be recapitalized.
Great. And Kat, I keep coming back to the truly significant role that Jackson Lab plays in our state, and this is one more addition that helps our economy and our people in such a significant way, either by jobs or by advancing the cause against cancer. That in itself says so much, does it not?
It really does. As an employer in Maine, the lab in Bar Harbor has over 1,300 employees, and I think we're very proud of the fact that we have hired in the last 4 years over 350 young individuals between the ages of 20 and 30. It's incredibly important to us that we not only educate the young people in the state of Maine, but we also provide employment opportunities as well. And the economic impact, I think, extends far beyond, just the people we employ at the Jackson Laboratory, but those in the construction and the IT areas and businesses. It's not just science and it's not just medicine at the lab, but there's so much of a strong infrastructure there that we're really proud to be able to offer those opportunities. And the passing of this bond will allow us to just reinforce that economic growth in the state and help move that forward.
Well said. There's about a minute, believe it or not, left in this segment. And there final last words that each of you or any of you would like to add?
I'd like to say, while we're talking about the economy, one aspect of our lab that has a real human health component is that there's nowhere in the state of Maine where if you pull a tick off yourself or your pet, you can get it tested as to whether it has any of the diseases.
I was surprised to hear that,
This lab will allow us that opportunity because we'll have a biosecure facility.
We're still not back to the level pre-recession for loans under $150,000. And this is the basis where this program targets. And it will provide that needed capital to get that money circulating.
And at Jackson, we firmly believe that cures for cancer will come not from treating breast cancer and treating prostate cancer, but treating your breast cancer. The idea of precision genomics and precision medicine tailored towards the patient is the future for the therapeutics. We can't guess. We need to be precise, and this facility will allow us to do just that.
Well, thank you very much to all three. You've been marvelous guests. I hope our viewers will sit down and listen and take in what you've shared with them because of its importance to our state. With that, we're going to be right back after a short break. During that time, we're going to be sharing with you a couple of ads that you might see on your television or in your neighborhood. We hope you will pay attention. They'll reinforce what you've heard here today. We'll be right back.
There are a lot of issues that divide us this year. But Question 6 is something all Mainers can agree on. Question 6 ensures clean drinking water for Maine's communities, improves our infrastructure while creating jobs, and restores natural habitat for fish, game, and wildlife. That's why business leaders, environmentalists, sportsmen, Democrats, Republicans, and independents all support Question 6. Please vote yes on Question 6.
Our daughter went away to college in Boston, and I'm delighted to say that she's been able to find good work here in Maine.
In the past 5 years, the Jackson Lab has hired over 300 people under the age of 30.
I was able to come back to Maine because I got a great job at the Jackson Laboratory where they research cures for cancer.
Now the lab wants to build the world's best biometric research center, adding more good jobs to help keep our young people here. You can help. Vote yes on Question 4, paid for by the Committee for a Healthier, More Prosperous Maine.
Welcome back to The Bottom Line. My name is Dana Connors, and it's my pleasure to continue the discussion on the bond issues that the voters will be asked to consider on November 4th. We're going to continue by looking at the next three bond issues before the consideration of the public. They are questions 5, 6, and 7. 5 is here to cover that is Kevin Strange, that he is the president and CEO of the Mount Desert Island Biological Laboratory. Tom Abello is here from the Nature Conservancy. He is Senior Policy Director there and is going to be talking about the water bond. And we have Craig Pendleton, who I know as one of the family and the Biddeford-Saco Chamber of Commerce, but spent 15 years in the marine industry, so is well prepared to talk about our last bond issue. Kevin, I'm going to start with you. It is a small bond issue, $3 million in amount, but as I learn of this issue, it packs a powerful punch in terms of the economy, in terms of training, in terms of the health benefits it brings. I probably have said why it's value, but can you add to that? Can you explain that in more detail?
Sure. Thanks for having me here today, too. Let me start with a little history first, because it really frames this bond issue. MDI Biological Laboratory, back in 2001, competed for $5.7 million of state bond funding. That really jump-started the institution. We went from 10 employees to 65, and we raised $106 million of federal grant funds. That's a 19-to-1 return on the state's investment. One of those grants was $68 million. It's called the IDEA Network of Biomedical Research Excellence. That $68 million, half of it is distributed to 12 other institutions in the state that range all the way from Fort Kent down to Portland. And what that grant has done is it has profoundly increased student training in research and development, biotechnology, biomedical research, really preparing those students for 21st century jobs. We just got that grant renewed, and what we want to do with this bond funding is we're going to match it with about $5.7 million of private and federal monies. We're going to increase our training capacity. We're going to put up a new 3,000 square foot training lab. It's going to allow us to increase our workforce training and student training by about 40%. In addition, it's going to allow us to recruit 3 to 4 new research groups to the state. And these groups are really focused on the field of regenerative and aging biology. We've had some new drug discoveries at the lab. We launched our first spin-out company, Nova Biosciences. We want to do a lot more of that. So workforce training and drug discovery.
Very good. Tom, in the state of Maine, clean water, drinking water, wetlands restoration, all important issues to the people of Maine. Tell us more about that and the ways it helps our economy or our people.
Sure. Thanks for having us, Dana. Yeah, so question 6 is really about clean water, and it's about clean water-related jobs. And the funding is broken up into 3 broad pots. The first pot of funding is for the State Revolving Loan Fund, which is for drinking water facilities and wastewater facilities, upgrading those systems. That also triggers about $21 million in federal match, so it really increases the bang for the buck on that piece. The second piece is around upgrading and improving stream crossings and culverts. This is a significant municipal issue where towns and cities just don't have the money to increase these systems so that they better accommodate rain events, they better accommodate fish passage, and that leads to a lot of economic opportunities, both on the side of construction, engineering, and planning, but also in tourism and recreation. And then finally, the third pot is around wetland restoration. So a lot of our wetlands serve as, think of them as big sponges for water events. And so by restoring these wetlands, we can help mitigate against bigger storm and water events, but also restoring these is really good for wildlife habitat as well.
Very good. Craig, you're an excellent Chamber of Commerce executive in the Biddeford-Saco area, but I also know you carry a strong passion for your previous life in which you spent 15 years in the marine industry. Can you tell us about question number 7 and the impact it has on our economy and how it helps our people?
Sure, it's interesting how these 3 bond issues tie together. Question 7 provides funding for research and development, entrepreneurship, innovation and internships, and new business development. The commercial fishing industry and the marine economy has taken a beating over the last 20 years. And I think it's important to recognize that I've heard some people say that this is only a bond to support southern Maine and coastal Maine, and that's really not true. And an example would be that this is a statewide initiative where we create partnerships between local fishermen, a distribution unit like Crown of Maine in the middle of the state, and then all tied to the University of New England or one of these facilities, and transport food products, medicine, gadgets, things we haven't even thought of yet, and bring it to the consumers. I think it's important too, this bond has a 1-to-1 match that we feel very confident will bring capital into the state to build new business.
Very good. Again, I see in each of you tremendous advantages to our economy and how you help our people. I mean, in your instance, Kevin, I can see clearly that on the health side of the issue that the biomedical research to help us with those chronic diseases, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, heart disease, stroke, are invaluable, not to mention the preparation of our students, even though the focus that I've come to understand about is on the biomedical, but just the core skills that are developed in problem solving, critical thinking, collaboration, and so forth, prepare our young people so effectively for 21st century careers. In your case, Tom, I've got to believe that just like Lands for Maine's Future, there's a high premium on wanting to preserve that which makes Maine so special. It is our natural resource based, whether it's our economy or whether, I mean, businesses, believe it or not, treasure the environment equal to the economy, and that's a statement in of itself. Craig, in your instance, you know, the marine industry has been so much a part of our future, and as clear as going to be a part of our past, as clear as going to be part of our future as well. It seems to me that this capital investment that you represent is leveraged equally with other dollars so that you're getting double the impact by virtue of what we're doing. Are those statements accurate in terms of how you see it? Is there anything in the short time that we have left that I encourage you to add any comment that would help answer a question that you may anticipate the public has to sell this program, because they're all so vital to our future success?
Well, I'd like to pick up on the idea about the impact statewide. Again, through this INBRI program, we have partnerships with 12 academic and research institutions throughout the state. We've trained over 2,000 students and so forth. We'll train another 800 in the next 5 years. We're also now building partnerships across the state with other small research institutions, Bigelow, a Foundation for Blood Research, as well as small businesses. State's a huge state. Maine's a huge state with a small population. We've all got to collaborate to make things happen. We're really working hard to do that.
I agree with that. Tom?
Yeah, and I'd like to circle back to one thing you said just a minute ago. One of the great things about this bond is that there are a lot of issues that divide us, but this bond, there's a huge coalition from the Associated General Contractors of Maine to the State Chamber to the Maine Water Utilities Association to Maine Audubon, Grow Smart, just a huge swath of partners and groups that are really pulling their weight and encouraging voters to support this on election day.
And that's a strong statement, to be sure.
I keep coming back to that this is a food issue as well. While we have looked at how we wild harvest products, this innovation will allow us to look at ways of harvesting and growing seaweed, mussels, oysters, scallops, you name it, in ways that we maybe haven't even dreamt of yet. Yeah. And I see this as an addition to some of the commercial fishing fleet that are already active. A lobsterman could enhance his income by raising scallops. And you know, personally, years ago, I was involved in research where we brought in winter flounder because they thought there was a gene that could help solve the osteoporosis problem. And so there's all kinds of opportunities, and again, it's interesting how these three bonds tie together.
That's very well stated, and it's true. You know, I commend the three of you, as I did the other three on the first segment. You all are extremely effective spokespersons for the bonds you represent. I hope people will see this for the worth it brings and the value it brings. And with that, I want to close this segment by sharing with our viewing audience the fact that we recognize this is a short program to explore in depth the features of these 6 bond issues. But they are interrelated in so many ways, as Craig has pointed out. So we hope we have taken this half hour to provide for you some insight and some information that you can take to the polls with you as you make your decision on November the 4th. I will say this, having been witness to a number of bond issues over the course of many years, I doubt if one of such relatively small amount, and yes, 50 million is a relatively small amount when it comes to bond issues, that has made such and can make such a significant impact on moving our economy forward and making a difference in the lives and the livelihood of our people. And you know what? What also is so significant about these 6 bonds, individually and collectively, they all come together to do the right things for our economy at the right time. Think about it. Their focus on research, their focus on technology, their focus on innovation. And clearly, they work to preserve our natural and protect our natural resource base. They work to encourage development and employment and create jobs in many of our natural resource industries, whether they be agricultural or natural resource marine-based that Craig has spoken of. In addition to that, they focus so much in every way on preparing and training our people for the economy of the 21st century. It is very significant. The return on investment is strong, is statewide in its presence, and it is good for Maine. Each of them and all of them together. We hope that you see it as the State Chamber sees it, and will support all 6 with a yes vote on November the 4th. We've just heard a lot about how these 6 bond issues will affect Maine's economy. I'd like to take a moment and shift our focus to one more economic issue, our workforce. Each October, we observe National Disability Employment Awareness Month. an annual campaign to educate businesses and the general public about disability employment issues, as well as to celebrate the many and varied contributions of workers with disabilities. Our aim this month and throughout the year is to spread the important message that a strong workforce is inclusive of the skills and talents of all workers, including those with disabilities. The benefits of hiring people with disabilities are enormous for both the employer and the employee, and hiring people with disabilities is a critical component to growing Maine's workforce. This is a priority for the Maine State Chamber and our affiliate, the Maine Business Leadership Network, and we hope it will be for you as well. If you'd like more information, please contact us at the Maine State Chamber. That's the bottom line for this month. Thank you for being with us. We look forward to seeing you right back here in November, same time, same place, same station. Until then, have a wonderful month.
Imagine being able to clear your breakouts fast with a revolutionary new acne treatment that's actually good for your skin. Announcing all-new Proactive Plus, the combination of acne medicine plus ultra-perfecting skincare. Television star Kristen Ritter calls it a miracle.
I love the new Proactive Plus. It's fighting all my breakouts, and my skin is like porcelain.
The results are astonishing. Your skin is not only clear, but smooth and sexy. It's our smartest, fastest, most effective solution ever. And now, new skincare is in every step to balance acne-prone skin with needed hydration and more.
I have to tell you, this is different. Just look at my before and after pictures. That doesn't lie.
So grab your phone and dial the number on your screen now, because today, shipping is free. And get 3 free gifts, a $96 value for just $29.95. Call now.
You will love your skin.
Are you sick of being kicked out of your bedroom because you snore? Fed up with having to sleep on the couch every night? Then you need Pure Sleep, the #1 selling snoring solution in the world.
The first night he stopped snoring.
The second night it worked, and the third night, and the fourth night, and I was about in tears because it worked.
Invented by a dentist who snored, Pure Sleep is FDA cleared and proven safe and effective.
Pure Sleep started working the very first night.
It's small, it's comfortable. You don't even know you have it in.
Pure Sleep is guaranteed to stop your snoring right away. To prove it, we'll let you try it for 30 days before you buy it. All you do is cover the shipping and handling. Plus, for a limited time, we'll give you a second Pure Sleep with travel case at no additional cost.
If we don't have the Pure Sleep, he's on the couch.
To try Pure Sleep and get a second Pure Sleep free, visit 3puresleep.com. That's 3puresleep.com or call 1-800-440-5161 right now.
If I got to go to college, oh my goodness. I just feel like that's my destiny. You get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
You're watching Time Warner Cable Community.